Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video we are going to cover a new problem statement, that is a new pattern which is filled with stars and with the spaces. Now here we are going to analyze this pattern, how to solve this type of patterns. First of all, follow the basic steps. In our previous video we have discussed about that. If you don't watch it, please go and watch. Then the basic steps to solve this pattern problem is, first of all, divide them into number of rows and columns and name I as rows and j as total number of stars and the spaces. Here, see, this is the pattern which we are going to solve, where I is known as rows and j is nothing but total number of the spaces are considered as j. In the star pattern, here we are having spaces plus stars. So first of all, name that rows as I is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here in first row, how many spaces do you have? In first row, you have totally 4 spaces, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. In a first row, you totally have 4 spaces. In second row, 3. Third row, 2 spaces. Fourth row, single space. And fifth row, you have 0 spaces. And now find out the relation between this number of stars in the first row. In first row you have 1 star, second row 2. It means that the number of stars is entirely depend upon this row number. Now here we are going to find out the relation between the spaces and row number, and as usual way the relation between this number of stars and then the row number. Consider that the total number of stars are entirely depends upon this row number, and the total number of spaces can be written as n minus I. Consider that if user enter n is equals to 5, it means the total number of rows as 5, then k is less than n minus I. It means that 5 minus 1 is 4. You will get 4 spaces. 5 minus 2 is 3. So find out the relation between these rows and then the spaces. That's it. The problem is completed, and these are the loop conditions to print this following pattern, where this is known as outer loop. The number of times the total iterations must run, and this is nothing but inner space to print the spaces. J is starting from 0, and it is depends upon this n minus I and j plus plus. If the condition true, then print the spaces. Okay, as usual way, the relation between these to print the stars, k is less than or equals to I. Total number of stars is entirely depend upon this row number. Okay, now let's see with the test case how does it works. If suppose user enter total number of rows as 5, n is equals to 5, then I value is starting from 1. I is less than or equals to n. It means that 1 is less than or equals to 1. Condition is true. Then outer loop, after execution of outer loop, it goes into this inner loop to print the spaces, where spaces starting from index j is equals to 0, j less than 4. It means that j less than n minus I. N is 5 and I is 1. So 5 minus 1 is 4. J less than 4, where the condition is true, where j is less than 4. Condition is true. Then increment this j value. 1 is less than 4. 2 is 3 is less than 4. Where here you get in a first row you get totally 4 spaces. In a similar way, where I is equals to 2, then j is equals to 0, where n minus I, it means that 5 minus 2 is nothing but 3. J is less than 3, j is 2. 0 is less than 3, 1 less than 3, 2 less than 3. From here you totally get 3 spaces. Okay, now k is equals to 1. K is used to print total number of stars. K less than or equals to I. If I is 2, then 1 is less than or equals to 2, 2 is less than or equals to 2. From here you get totally 2 stars. So this is the basic logic how to print this star pattern. This is the basic syntax in a C programming language, where this is the main function. And here we have taken input from this user asking enter number of rows, and here we have to specify the data type of these variables. Now let us run this program and let's see what does we get as a output. Here we are going to run this program. This is the similar way. Here we are going to solve another pattern in a reversed condition. Okay, in this condition, in this pattern, here we have the stars and the spaces. First of all, divide them into total number of stars and the spaces and label them I value, I is nothing but outer loop starting from in labeled 0 to 4, and k is nothing but total number of stars, and j is nothing but total number of spaces. So analyze this problem. In a zeroth row, you have 5 stars and 0 spaces. In first row, 4 stars, 1 space. And in second row, 3 stars, 2 spaces. Similarly, in fourth row, in a last row, you have 1 star and 4 spaces. It means that the number of spaces is entirely depends upon this row number. So that's how you find out the relation between the spaces and then row number, right? Now here we are going to find out the relation between the stars and then the row number, where the number of stars is always less than or equals to n minus I. It means that if suppose user enter number of rows as 5, then this k is less than or equals to n minus I. It means that 5 minus 0 is 5, 5 minus 1 is 4. So find out this relation between the stars and then the row number. So now here we are going to execute this loop conditions. This is the outer loop. How many times does this entire program runs? If user entered 5, so it goes for 5 iterations. And this is the inner loop to print the spaces. Okay, spaces are entirely depend upon the row number. So j less than I. As usual way, this is the condition to print the stars. Where stars are less than or equals to n minus I. This is the condition. Just find out this relation and use this loop conditions to print that. So now here we are going to check out the test conditions. How does this actually works? Okay, consider that where I is equals to 0, 0th row, and I is less than n. It means that 0 is less than 5. Condition is true. Then it enters into the second loop where j is equals to 0, j less than I, 0 less than 0. Is this condition true? False, right? So here you get no spaces in this 0th row. Okay, no spaces in 0th row. Now it enters into this last loop to print the stars where k is equals to 1, k less than or equals to n minus I. N is 5, 5 minus 0 is 5, right? So 1 less than or equals to 5, condition true. Then k increment. Okay, then k increment, k plus plus. As usual, 2 is less than or equals to 5, condition true. Up to 5 is less than or equals to 5, condition true. From here you totally get 5 stars in the 0th row. As usual, now here we are going to print this reverse pattern of this. So for that, modify a little bit this program where the number of rows starting from I is equals to 0 and I less than n, where the spaces are stars that enter number of rows. Let me enter number of rows as 5, and this is the pattern which having both the stars and the spaces. Okay, the logic between these stars and the spaces with this roll number. That's it, the entire program is completed. Thank you. If you have any doubts, please go to the comment section.